said I couldn't do it. Said someone like me, born with nothing, should know his place. But I kept pushing, kept swinging, because I wasn't chasing approval. I was becoming something they'd never understand. They say strength comes from within. Well then, I must have been carrying a universe inside me, because no matter how many times the world tried to bury me, I kept rising. And not just rising, I came back louder, meaner, stronger, hungrier. The truth is, I never had anything to fall back on. No noble family, no ancient name, no hidden potential buried in my blood, only the mirror of effort. That's all I had. And every single day I asked myself, are you ready to get hurt again today? And every time I answered, I said, more than ever. Because that's what it takes to stand here, to claw your way up from the bottom in a world that's already told you you're not welcome at the top. Do you know how many times I heard the words not enough? Too loud, too reckless, too wild, too different. Good, because nothing normal ever changes the world. They told me magic was everything, so I built a body that could cut through it. They said I was cursed, so I made that curse my crown. They said I was doomed to be forgotten, so I carved my name into the bones of history. I didn't grow stronger just to survive. I grew stronger so I could become the reminder that no matter how much you're overlooked, you can still be unstoppable. That pain doesn't end you, it builds you. I remember the first time I watched my friends fall. When I saw people I cared about bleed. When I stood in front of enemies I wasn't supposed to beat. And I knew I was outmatched, outclassed, but never outwilled. Because will beats power when power forgets how to fight. And I never forgot. Not once. Not through broken bones, not through bleeding knuckles, not through sleepless nights or shattered self-worth. I held on, because the minute I let go, the world wins. And I'm not here to let it win. I've been betrayed. I've been mocked. I've been doubted by everyone, even myself. But I kept going. Because at some point, this stopped being about proving them wrong. It became about proving myself right. About becoming something I never saw, something I never had, something that the next unwanted kid could point to and say, if he did it, maybe I can too. And if that means I have to break myself again and again to build that symbol, then break me. I'll rebuild stronger, every single time. Because I am not here to be a hero by their definition. I'm not here to be polite, to be humble, to be palatable. I'm not here to be their ideal. I'm here to tear down the idea that you need permission to ride. I am not powered by destiny. I am powered by desperation. By days when I couldn't eat. By nights when I trained until my arms stopped working. By the sound of rejection so loud it echoed in my chest. Until I had no choice but to turn it into a roar. So no, I don't want peace. Not yet. Not until every kid like me knows that it's okay to be born without magic, without privilege, without favor. Because I was too, and look where I stand. Covered in dirt, dripping in sweat, breathing fire, unshaken, unafraid, undeniable. And when the next battle comes, when the sky cracks open and they tell me this is the end, I'll grit my teeth, tighten my fists, and say, good. I was hoping for a fight. Because I didn't come this far to be afraid. I didn't sacrifice years of blood, bone, and breath just to stop at the edge of comfort. I didn't crawl out of the dirt just to stand still now. I was built for war. Not because I wanted it, but because the world wouldn't let me live without it. From the moment I opened my eyes, life threw punches, and I learned to swing back. Not out of hatred, not out of rage, out of survival, out of necessity, out of the deepest kind of hunger. The hunger not to be forgotten. Do you know what it feels like to want something so badly it hurts? Not a little, not sometimes, every single moment. Even in sleep I was dreaming of getting stronger. Even when I rested, my heart was still fighting. Even when I fell, I was already planning how I'd rise again. Because that's what it takes. That's what it costs to build yourself from nothing. No one handed me strength. No one offered me help. No one gave me a shortcut. So I made one out of my will. I paved the road myself. I bled the foundation for every step. People like to talk about talent, potential, destiny. But I've seen talented people give up. I've seen the gifted fall apart when things got hard. I've seen the chosen hesitate. Me? I don't hesitate. Because hesitation is a luxury I never had. From day one, I've had to move. Fast, loud, with everything I've got. I trained so hard my body stopped listening. I screamed until my voice cracked. I got back up when my bones said no. And when I couldn't swing anymore, I kept standing. Because sometimes, standing is enough. The difference between me and them? They started with power and feared losing it. I started with nothing and feared nothing. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still rising. Because the top didn't welcome me. So I built a ladder from every rejection and climbed it anyway. You think I fought for fun? You think I screamed because it felt good? I screamed because I had to drown out the voice that told me to quit. Because silence never saved me. Because the quiet ones were forgotten. And I made a vow. Even if I die, the world will remember the noise I made. Let them call me stubborn. Let them call me reckless. Let them call me obsessed. Good. Because obsession built me. Obsession carved strength into my skin. Obsession turned pain into fuel and scars into armor. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I wasn't trying to prove anything. I was just trying to survive long enough to turn survival into dominance. And now? Now I'm more than a survivor. More than a fighter. I'm a force. A problem they cannot solve. A roar they cannot quiet. A shadow that became the sun. I used to look up at nights and wonder what it felt like to be chosen. Now those same nights look at me with respect, fear, and awe. Because I didn't climb the ranks, I tore them down and rebuilt my place on top. I've stood against devils, felt the weight of a dying world on my shoulders. And I carried it, not because I was strong enough, but because I was willing enough. Willing to die trying, willing to take one more step when my legs shook. Willing to bleed more, scream louder, and swing harder than anyone who ever thought they had the right to stand above me. When I hold my sword, I'm not holding a weapon. I'm holding every moment I refuse to break. Every memory, every lesson, every time I got up off the ground. My blade doesn't cut with steel. It cuts with proof. I am not the underdog. I am not the fluke. I am not the exception. I am the blueprint of what happens when you never, ever stop. I'm not trying to fit in anymore. I'm not chasing their approval. I'm not waiting for recognition. I already earned it. With torn muscles, with sleepless nights, with tears I never let fall. Because they would have stolen time from my training. So go ahead. Call me crazy. Call me broken. Call me obsessed. But remember this. I was called a mistake, until I became the reason the world changed. When the final war comes, when the sky breaks and the ground screams and everyone else trembles under the weight of what's coming, I won't flinch, I won't hide, I won't ask for help. I'll smile, because this is where I thrive. This is what I train for. And I'll stand, with black flames burning behind my back, sword drawn, eyes blazing, and say, I am Asta, the boy with nothing, the curse they feared, the answer they never prepared for, the scream that never stopped. And now, I am the storm that never dies!